If you drive a Chevy Silverado with a V8 under the hood, there are factory settings baked into your truck right now that are slowly chewing through your engine from the inside out. GM programmed these into every Silverado that left the factory. They are not bugs. They are not glitches. They are deliberate engineering choices designed to squeeze out an extra mile per gallon on a government fuel economy test. And every single one of them is costing you engine life, transmission health, and money you should not have to spend. These are 5 settings most Silverado owners never think about, and by the time you finish this video, you will know exactly what to change and how to do it. Number 5. Dynamic fuel management left running on your V8. If your Silverado has the 5.3-liter or 6.2-liter V8 built after 2019, it came equipped with GM's Dynamic Fuel Management System. DFM is the successor to the older Active Fuel Management setup, and it is significantly more aggressive. While the old AFM could only shut down 4 of your 8 cylinders, DFM can deactivate up to 7 cylinders at once, cycling through 17 different firing patterns while you drive. The idea sounds smart on paper. Shut down cylinders you do not need, save fuel, reduce emissions. But here is where it falls apart in the real world. Every time a cylinder deactivates and reactivates, the lifters responsible for opening and closing the valves go through additional stress cycles. On the older AFM system, the same 4 cylinders were always the ones shutting down, which caused uneven heat distribution and accelerated lifter wear in those specific cylinders. DFM spreads the load across all 8, which helps with heat, but it dramatically increases the total number of activation cycles across the entire valve train. Silverado forums are filled with owners reporting lifter failure, ticking noises, misfires, and in some cases, catastrophic engine damage traced back to DFM-related lifter collapse. GM even recalled roughly 600,000 trucks and SUVs with the 6.2-liter V8 over engine block defects that many owners believe were worsened by the constant cylinder cycling. You can disable DFM without voiding your warranty using a plug-in module from Range Technology. It connects to your engine control module and keeps all 8 cylinders firing at all times. If you do not want to spend the money, there is a free workaround. Use your paddle shifters or gear selector to lock the transmission in 9th gear. L9 is the only forward gear where the engine control module disables DFM entirely. It also turns off auto start-stop as a bonus. You might lose a fraction of a mile per gallon. Your engine will thank you for it. Number 4. Auto start-stop wearing down your starter and bearings. Every time your Silverado shuts off at a red light and fires back up 2 seconds later, that is 1 full start cycle on your engine. Your starter motor takes a hit. Your engine bearings absorb the shock of a cold contact restart. Your battery cycles through a discharge and recharge event. GM designed heavier duty starters and AGM batteries to handle the increased load, but designed to survive is a very different promise than good for long-term reliability. A truck with start-stop active in city traffic can accumulate hundreds of thousands of start cycles over its lifetime, compared to maybe 50 or 60,000 without it. The fuel savings from all of that? Roughly 3 to 5% in pure stop-and-go traffic. In mixed driving, it is closer to 1%. We are talking about saving maybe $10 to $15 a year in fuel while adding measurable wear to components that cost hundreds or thousands to replace. The problem is that GM resets start-stop to active every single time you turn the truck off and back on. There is no factory option to make it stay off. You can press the button on the dash every time you start the truck, but that gets old fast. A better solution is an aftermarket auto stop eliminator that plugs into the wiring harness and remembers your preference. You can also defeat it for free by selecting tow haul mode, which disables start-stop automatically as long as it is engaged. Number 3. The oil life monitor. Pushing your oil changes way too far. Your Silverado's oil life monitor uses an algorithm that tracks driving conditions, engine temperature, RPM, and load to estimate when your oil needs changing. In theory, it is a smart system. In practice, it regularly pushes oil change intervals to 8, 9, even 10,000 miles or more. On paper, GM says that is fine. In the real world, especially on DFM-equipped engines where cylinders are constantly cycling on and off, your oil is contaminated with combustion byproducts faster than the monitor accounts for. Independent Chevy mechanics and oil analysis labs consistently tell the same story. Silverado owners who follow the oil life monitor to the letter show significantly more engine sludge, varnish buildup, and premature wear on internal components compared to owners who change oil every 5,000 miles. The DFM system makes this worse because the constant cylinder activation and deactivation increases blow-by, which dumps unburned fuel and combustion gases into the oil supply faster. If you plan to keep your Silverado past 100,000 miles, ignore the oil life monitor and set a manual reminder for 5,000-mile oil changes using a quality full synthetic. The monitor was calibrated to get you through the warranty period, not to protect your engine at 150,000 miles. Quick thing before we get to the rest of this list. I checked the analytics on this channel, and right now, more than 80% of the people watching this video have not subscribed. That tells me you keep coming back for the content, but the algorithm does not know to show you the next one. If you have watched this far, you obviously care about keeping your Silverado running right. Just tap subscribe so the next video actually shows up in your feed. Number 2. Not checking your oil level between services. This one is not a setting you toggle on a screen. It is a default behavior that GM has quietly normalized, and it is destroying engines. GM considers oil consumption of up to 1 quart per 1,000 miles to be within factory specification on V8 Silverados. Read that again. Your truck can burn through a full quart of oil every 1,000 miles, and GM says that is perfectly acceptable. If you are running 5,000-mile oil change intervals, that means your engine could burn through 5 quarts of oil between services. Most Silverado V8 engines hold 6 to 8 quarts total. By the time your dashboard actually warns you that oil is low, your engine has been running on a dangerously thin oil supply for potentially thousands of miles. Low oil means reduced lubrication on bearings, cam lobes, and lifters. It means higher operating temperatures and accelerated wear on every moving part inside your engine. The fix is dead simple. Check your oil level manually every 2,000 miles. Pop the hood, pull the dipstick, and look. If it is low, add oil. Do not wait for the warning light. That warning light is your engine's way of telling you damage is already happening. By the time it comes on, you are already behind. Number 1. Never using tow haul mode when your engine is under load. This is the setting that ties everything together, and it is the one most Silverado owners completely ignore during normal driving. When your transmission is in standard drive mode, the shift programming is calibrated for smooth, quiet operation. That means the transmission upshifts as early as possible, keeps RPMs low, and prioritizes fuel economy over engine protection. The problem shows up the moment you put your engine under any real load. Merging onto a highway, climbing a long grade, pulling out of a parking lot into fast traffic with passengers and gear in the bed. In all of those situations, the transmission holds a high gear at low RPM because the programming says that is the efficient thing to do. But efficiency at low RPM under heavy load is called lugging, and lugging puts enormous stress on your connecting rod bearings, crankshaft, and transmission internals. Tow haul mode solves this completely. When you activate it, the transmission adjusts its shift points to keep RPMs in the engine's healthy power band. It holds lower gears longer under acceleration and downshifts earlier when you let off the throttle or touch the brakes. It also locks out the highest overdrive gears that cause lugging under load. And as a bonus, tow haul mode disables both DFM and auto start-stop while it is active. You do not need to be towing a trailer to use tow haul mode. Anytime you are carrying a heavy load in the bed, driving through hilly terrain, or just want your transmission to behave more intelligently, flip it on. There is no wear penalty for using it. There is no damage risk. GM just does not make it the default because it uses slightly more fuel, and fuel economy numbers are what sell trucks on the lot. Every one of these settings shipped with your Silverado from the factory. GM put them there because their priorities are emissions compliance, fuel economy ratings on government tests, and making sure the truck survives the warranty window. None of these settings were optimized for the owner who wants to put 250,000 miles on their truck. The good news is that now you know exactly what to look for, what to change, and what it costs you if you do not. If this video saved you from an expensive repair, hit subscribe and we will keep these coming every week.